Hello, Palians, welcome in. Today, I am going to show you how to do some glitching using a console instead of a PC. So, I will show you how to float an item, how to turn the item to a bit of the size and an angle, and how to sync some items as well. So, they are very, very easy to learn. So, I hope you enjoy today's video. Right, so the first one is how to float an item. And that could work for anything. For this example, I'm going to be using a rainbow tipped butterfly because that's my favorite plushie ever. So we're using this one as an example. So first thing you need to do, you need to change your bindings for your controller. So I'm using the PS5 at the moment in a PS5 controller, but this works for every single console, okay? So you can do the same for the Xbox and the Switch as well. So you have to go into settings, go all the way to controls, and you have to change the action bar item use for a button that you don't use while you're doing the glitching. So in this case, I'm going to be using R2, but it could be L2, could be literally anything. So let me just put R2, but again, it can be anything. Just save that to get out of there. Right, and you need some pavers. You need the item that you want to float, and you're gonna need as well some height because the height will determine how high your item will float. So for this case here, I'm gonna just grab this guy out of here and I'm going to move right here. So next thing I need to do is I need to do this. This will look a bit weird, but believe me, it works. So you're gonna have to jump, open your glider, and grab the item. So you might need to do this a few times until you get the timing exactly right. And then you know when it works, when you can see your inventory bar underneath. So see here, I'm trying to open. There you go. Now I can see my inventory bar there at the bottom, and before I couldn't. So that's when you know this will work. So the next is to determine the height that you want your item to float. I think this height here is good enough, so I'm gonna place it here. So you're gonna select the item you want from your inventory. So see, you can choose many things. I could use this rainbow tip butterfly starred, but in this case, I'm gonna use the plushie right here. So then R2 to place the item, but before you do that, you're gonna cancel, and then you're going to place the item again. See, now you can see those yellow crosses on top of the paver. That's when you know it will work. So now you can place it. Now, if you select the paver and you place it right here, there you go. This is your floating 101 for consoles, so it should work. I can show you one more example as well, where you can put the item in an angle. And the principle is exactly the same, but for this one, you're gonna need a shelf. And the shelf will determine how it's going to work. So for example, for this one, I want to, look a bit upside down, let's say, the item. So this one, you're going to be a trial and error as well. You're going to need to see where exactly the angle that you want. So it will take a few goes until you get 100% right. But essentially it's the same. You have to jump, open your glider, and grab the item until you see the inventory bar there. So you will get better, I promise, by doing this. So then you grab the paver, and then same thing, place item, cancel, select the item again, place item. See, you can see the yellow crosses again. That's when you know it will work. And then place it, select the paver, and then move around, and there you go. Now we have a upside down rainbow tipped butterfly plushie that is just floating right there. And then one more thing that you can do as well, you can sync items as well. You know how some people, they have water, they have kind of a river or a lake going on their plot. They do this by syncing objects. The most common one that I know of is, let me just turn this shelf around and I'm going to place it right here. The most common one I know is this Capital Chic table. And to get the blue like this, you need a modification bench. So you need one of those. And then you take your table here and you change to the blue. That's how you get the beautiful blue color that kind of like imitates, a body of water. So that's how you do this. So for this one, again, quite similar, but instead you're gonna start with the paver. Whoops, let me get this. Let me get this one from here. So this one you have to play around with the height of the shelf because it will influence on how where the table sits. It will make sense once we do it. So same thing, open glider, select, it didn't work. Open glider, select, now it worked. And I can see, again how you worked when you can see your inventory at the bottom. So for this one, we're just gonna do the same, and we're gonna place the rainbow tipped for first. Cancel, select it again, place it, but I'm gonna remove it straight away. And I am going to grab the dessert bowl and the table at the same time. And then I am going to place right here on top of the paver, like so. Now I can grab the paver, put it here, and it sunk. I don't know where it went. Let me see. See how it went under? You can see the outline. So that's what I'm saying. It will take a few goes to determine the height exactly that you want your item to be. So I can see the dessert bowl right here. So I'm gonna pick those on up. So they're not there anymore. And then what I can do to fix it, I can just move the shelf around. So then again, I will need the dessert bowl. The dessert bowl is needed so you can grab the item because you can't place the table on top of the paver. That's the only reason why we need the dessert bowl, okay? Let's try this again, shall we? All right. Nope, it didn't work. Open glider, pick it up, perfect. Place item, cancel, select again, place item, place it. And now we can grab it. Pick this one up. Now grab the table, put the table here, grab this one, and like so. So now you can kind of play around with the height of the shelf. So the height of the shelf will determine, how much and how little will appear of the table. So see here, there's a little bit of, we can see a little bit. So it will determine that. So the thing you can do as well, see how it's anchored to the paver. So you can anchor multiple items to just one paver, or you could have multiple pavers. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. And how you want to look. Ideally, you can hide the paver with some flowers, for example. That could be an easy way to do it. So if I grab this one, I could pick up this whole sack. And I can move it around, for example. So, and I put that on top of the paver. So if I grab some items, when you're doing a decoration, this is the final stages. And then you could hide it like this, so it's not really apparent. But if you do one item per paver, you're gonna have lots and lots of pavers to hide. Well, I hope that helped you today to do this. It's very simple. It will take some practice though. It will take some practice, but I'm sure you guys can do it. And the main thing is remember that you can bind the settings right there. So this is really important for this to work. You have to bind it. And then you can always reset that to default once you're done with your glitching. And then when you want to do some decorating and glitching again, you can always bind that again. Well, I hope that helps. I also have some tutorials on PC as well on how to do this, but PC is a lot easier than a console. So those of you playing on console enjoying glitches, just know that you guys are freaking amazing for doing this. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I have visited a bunch of plots where people have created the most amazing things just by using a Switch or a console. So well done to all of you. Well done. Anyway, let me know what you want to see next for consoles, and I will try to learn and I will teach you as well. So thank you for watching. Bye.